I would like for you to open your mind for our final speaker, to get on your feet, to give a huge round of applause, because this person will inspire you. He will call something out inside of you when your mind is open and your hearts are open. And I want you to give a huge Ideas from the Heart welcome to Mr. Joseph Zielinski.
Wow. Hello. Woo. It is truly a great honor to champion the hero in you today. In you. In you. And in all of you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here today and showing up. Oh, we made it. You made it. Oh. How many of you out there after this weekend feel like a hero? Thank you. And how many of you out there feel like, yeah, maybe I do have a heroic voice that I want people to hear? Well, thank you. Well, what if I told you that I have discovered over the years what a hero does time and time again? Would that be something you would want to know? Yes. Thank you. Well, here it is in 3 simple words. How many, please? 3. Thank you. A hero gets back up. Gets back what? Up. Thank you. Well, before I begin, I'd like to share a short inspirational video clip with you that speaks to this concept of getting back up, that speaks to the hero in us, that speaks to the heroic voice. Could we please dim the lights and play the video?
You ain't gonna believe this, but you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you. Every day was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always going to love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't going to have a life. Don't forget to visit your mother.
That short, inspirational video clip hits me in the heart every single time. Rocky makes a very important point in his own emphatic way. That nobody is going to hit harder than life. Harder than what? Thank you. But what I find even more important ties in to the idea and the title of my talk, which is the idea of getting back up when life knocks you down. Because you see, in life, we have two choices when we get knocked down. We can choose to stay down, or we can choose to always get back up. Get back what, please? Thank you. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever been knocked down by life? Thank you. And how many of you out there perhaps knows someone that has been knocked down by life? Thank you. Well, my mission is to help 10 million people. How many, please? A little bit louder, I can't hear you. Thank you. Get back up when life knocks them down. To listen to that heroic voice that's inside of you. That sometimes whispers. Would it be okay if I shared a personal story with you? This story speaks to this idea of get back up. It not only speaks to it, it lives it. It breathes it. This personal story is about one of the greatest heroes, if not the greatest hero, in my life. When I was a little boy, at the age of 11, we had a family tradition. Now, family what? Thank you. Every year, at Christmas Eve, we would go to our favorite beloved aunt's house. Oh, good food, great fun, celebration and dance. Ah, yes, those were the days. It was awesome. And I remember this one particular Christmas Eve pretty vividly. My aunt lived about 2 miles away. We would always walk to go see her. And I remember getting ready that night in the house with my 2 younger brothers and my sister, my stepdad, sometimes I called him Dad, and my mom. I was the oldest. And I felt so giddy because these good times in my family were few and far between. But that wasn't important right then and there. What was important was that we were a family in that moment. We were going to have a good time. So as we make our way out the door, I remember the snow was falling ever so lightly. And there was a thin veil of snow covering the sidewalk. And the streetcars were covered ever so lightly. And there were Christmas wreaths on the doors as we were walking to my aunt's house. And the Christmas lights in the window of green, red, blue, and yellow. Happy as we'd go, we were just skipping along. I remember sliding in the snow with my brothers. It was fun. We were on our way to a happy place. And I remember my mother calling out to me in her loving voice, saying, "Hey, kiddo, cut that out. You're going to mess up your clothes." Because, you know, we had to look respectable. So we changed the game, and it went to tag, you're it, tag, you're it. And we're dancing around our parents. And we go as we go along. And then all of a sudden I hear this grumbling coming from my parents, which wasn't uncommon in my family. We had our spats like any other family. I didn't think anything of it until all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my stepfather winds up and cold cocks my mother dead in the face. My mother hits the ground. Her head slams against the cement. I look down at my mother, and there is blood seeping out of her head into the pure white Christmas snow. I am shocked. I am confused. I am in disbelief. And I am paralyzed, looking down at my mother. I turn my head for an instant. I look back, and remarkably, my mother is lifting herself up off the ground, gathering herself, putting herself together, looks right at me, and says, Don't worry, kiddo. I'm still here. And we went to the party. Now, I don't remember anything about that party. The one thing I do remember is that life lesson my mother taught me so long ago. That life lesson of when life knocks you down, you can always get back up. We can always do what? Get back up. Thank you. Everybody breathe. I believe that our heroic voice, our heroic heart, rather, always speaks to us. It is constantly encouraging us to take heroic action. Did my mom take heroic action? Thank you. And when we take that heroic action, that in that moment, that is truly when we gain the confidence. The what? I'm sorry, the lights are so bright I can hardly hear you. The what? Thank you. You'll get that one later. To express our heroic voice and live into the heroic person or people we are truly meant to be. And that's what I would have for you today. And every day moving forward is to say yes to yourself. To say yes to your heroic voice. To be bold. To be brave. To have faith and trust. That heroic part of you that only wants the best for you. That part of you that always lifts you up when you need it the most. Get back up. Everybody, say it with me. Get back up. One more time, twice as loud. Get back up. Thank you.
Woo! Give him a round of applause.
Woo! What can we always do? Get back up. Thank you for being here. And thank you for coming. Today, I have the distinct honor and privilege to stand on this platform because of these guys and all of you to honor the greatest hero of my life. So would you please get back up one more time and welcome my mom to the stage and give her a big warm of applause. I love you, man. My mom, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Joseph Zielinski. My idea from the heart is that no matter what life throws at you, no matter how deep your valley, no matter what you get hit by, you can always get back up. Oh, it's been amazing. It's been a transformational journey. I gotta tell you, I thought I was coming in for one reason, and I found myself on this incredible journey of discovery. And so it's just been feeding my heart even more. First of all, I knew the idea was great, and it is great, but I had no idea how impactful it was going to be for me personally. So profound. My call to action, I would have people get up, stand up for themselves through awakening, and end suffering and self-hate. Ideas from the heart. Boom, boom, bam! Unleash your heroic voice.